Gilbert Arenas alleged illegal high-stakes poker games in the 818 definitely hits close to home for me. Who knew that there were high-stakes illegal poker games involving Israeli mobsters and Agent Zero in my old stomping grounds? Had I known that, I probably would have never left the 818 for the 949, if we're being real. Imagine that conversation between DJ and I. The reason we came down to the 949, the OC, DJ said, look, we're going to raise the kids. My family is down there. I've moved around with you. It just seems like it's the right thing to do. And I said, well, let me take a look. I come down here. I'm like, I love it. Let's do this. However, had I known this type of thing was going on in the 818, and Janet made that argument to me that, well, my family's down there. The schools are great down there. The quality of life is great down there. We have friends down there. Let's move down there. I'd say, you know what? That checks all the boxes except for one. The Gilbert Arenas Israeli mobster illegal poker games box. We're staying right here. Had I known. But I didn't know. But now we do. We know, except we don't know all the deets. But it's obviously not the best look for Agent Zero to get caught up in something like this. I mean, Agent Zero or IQ Zero. Also, I wonder what the badge number was of the agent who investigated him. Imagine if there was actually a federal Agent Zero. And they were like, hey, you know what, dude? You ought to take this one. It's only fitting that Agent Zero brings down Agent Zero. Anyway, optics aren't great. None of it looks great, especially when you find out that Gil was actually charged with 3 felony counts. Felony. 3 of them. Each count carrying a potential 5-year sentence. Here are the charges. 1 count of conspiracy to operate an illegal gambling business, 1 count of operating an illegal gambling business, and 1 count of making false statements to federal investigators, and 1 count of Hey, don't worry though. Carl Lewis, I mean, everything's going to be fine. Just ask Gil. Because Gil posted on social media after posting a $50,000 bond and pleading not guilty. He ran right to social, and as you can see, he's essentially skipping and clicking his heels together. Look at this dude. I mean, pretty much a victory dance. And the copy on that post was, and I quote, I'm back on the streets. This ain't got shit to do with me. Just rented the house, wasn't a part. Quote, end of quote. Oh man, good. What a relief. For a minute there, I was very concerned for Gil. For a second there, I really thought my man's gonna have a real problem. Except it was all one big misunderstanding. He only rented the house. He wasn't a part of any high-stakes gambling or illegal poker games. You heard the man. This doesn't have, quote, shit to do with him. Man, thank goodness. Because I got to be honest, it was starting to look really sus, really sketchy for a second. One quick question, though, Gil. What about the poker tables with your name and number and likeness painted across them? What about that table? Look at that thing. If you're watching on the stream, those poker tables, what about them? You know, the ones that say Arenas Poker Club on them. The ones that the feds have pics of. Supposedly along with evidence that Gil sent the table to another one of the people tied to the illegal poker ring. So now we're trafficking the tables. We're moving the tables. I had nothing to do with that Arenas Poker Club table, even though it has my name and it's my poker club. It's got nothing to do with me. I'm not a part of that. It's just somebody trying to lift my brand. All right, so to recap. Gil knew nothing about this poker game. It had nothing to do with him. He was just renting out the house. He did nothing wrong. Also, the feds have pics of a poker table that says Arenas Poker Club on it. What are you going to tell me next? That the table was for a different poker game? The Arenas Poker Club is not referring to the illegal, high-stakes, Israeli mobbed-up game? No. The Arenas Poker Club is just a Tuesday night game for washed-up hoopers, and they're just gambling with, pennies, marbles, Cheetos, matchsticks, paper clips. Man, it's just too funny. The dude's saying on social that he had nothing to do with this, while the feds have an image of a poker table that says Arenas Poker Club on it. And obviously that's not all they have. They also have texts. From The Athletic, quote, well, Arenas paid Katz at least $14,000 for managing the setup for the games. He also texted Katz that he wanted to earn a rake, a portion of the money wagered in the games, according to text messages shared in the indictment. Again, there's an indictment. I wasn't a part of it, but I've been indicted. I wasn't a part of it, but give me my rake. Uh-oh. I wasn't a part of it, but look at all these texts flying back and forth. Of course, there's more. The game started in February of 2022, according to the indictment. And it seemed to happen weekly, the indictment said. In one April 2022 text, Arenas told Katz, quote, I have an idea that might bring in new players for you. I'm going to do a YouTube episode of me at the game, but blur out players and girls that don't want to be seen for my channel. Quote, end of quote. Here's another quote. Uh-oh. And then finally, this final passage. Federal prosecutors also said that Arenas lied to U.S. Customs and Border Protection in September 2022 while trying to recover money that had been seized by Homeland Security from his master bedroom, telling the Border Protection officials that he was not involved in the gambling ring at his home. Now, if that's true, that would make him a liar and a felon. You're a liar and a felon. So, yeah, that all looks pretty bad. Pretty bad for IQ 0. I don't know that I would be out on social saying anything, let alone dancing around, trying to claim that they've got nothing on me, even though they seem to clearly have something on him. And they being the feds. Let's not forget about that. The feds. Now, I don't know what happens from here. I'm not a federal prosecutor, nor am I a defense attorney. Who knows if he serves 15 years or even 15 minutes? I just know that this whole situation is a little more serious than posting memes on X and blasting out in all caps that they can't hold me. My man's got a meme and him popping out with they can't hold me. Popping out of a coffin on a moving truck. And then hitting the Thriller dance. They can't hold me. Bro, let me just say this. You're handling this a hell of a lot better than I would. I mean, maybe I'm just funny like that, but like prison scares the hell out of me. You may not do 15 minutes, but I'm man enough to admit that I wouldn't survive 15 minutes behind bars. But dude, you got nothing to worry about, right? I don't know, man. You better be sure about that. Because they might actually be able to hold you. Maybe not for 15 years, but they might be able to hold you. Now, of course, IQ 0 is not the only one posting on social in the wake of an arrest. There are plenty of other people dancing on his perceived grave, even his own employees. Check out Nick Young, Swaggy P, his co-host on Gil's Arena, clowning and making light of the entire situation, and the two of these guys just turning it all into content.
Whatever they said he did it. Yeah, man. Got his stupid ass. And that's my brother, too. I love him. But he's stupid. And when I seen that, I said, nah, man, what the going on? I was looking around like, damn, so, all right, so what we gonna do? This nigga f***ing up the money. So, called Underdog and said, Underdog, don't win the trip. He still could make his picks. Well, you know, they got TVs in there. He can make his picks from his cell. I'm gonna send him all the latest, you know, Ja Morant's and the Lakers and all that shit. He can wear his Luka Doncic. He can wear his Luka jersey in the cell while he making bets.
Telling you, man, everything is content, isn't it? Everything. With employees like that, who needs enemies? He even says, that's my brother. I love him. Brother. But he's so stupid. Although, that's an idea. The idea of Gil doing the pod from prison is pretty hilarious. The image of Gil giving out his picks in a Luka jersey from a jail cell is pretty hilarious. I mean, that would probably do incredible numbers. The whole thing might wind up being the best thing that ever happened to Gil's arena. Maybe not to Gilbert Arenas, but to Gil's arena. Except nobody stepped up to celebrate with more intensity in the last 24 hours than the guy that Gil is always piling on, Kwame Brown. Man, Kwame had a great day. Kwame not only had a great day, when he found out about that news, Kwame said it was actually as good as or was his birthday.
And I told people one thing. I said, this is a stupid motherfucker. He gonna self-sabotage. He's a dummy. And look at this stupid motherfucker. Let me close this door. And today is like my motherfucking birthday.
That is an incredible clip. I mean, content for days. This is how the engagement, the EFI, the engagement farming industry works. Something happens, somebody who's beefing with the guy that it happened to claps back. Something happens to the guy's co-host is making jokes about his guy going to prison, and it just keeps stacking and stacking and stacking. As far as Kwame, very clearly, he hates Gil. Gil has crushed Kwame. I gotta see that one more time. Lauren, can you roll that for me? The Kwame Brown bust life. Look at that.
And I told people one thing. I said, this is a stupid motherfucker. He gonna self-sabotage. He's a dummy. And look at this stupid motherfucker. Let me close this door.
What? Why do you gotta close the door, Kwame?
And
but somebody might hear
today is like my motherfucking birthday.
Today is like my mother bleeping birthday because the guy that he hates so much got busted by the feds, allegedly. Today is like my mother bleeping birthday is incredible. So obviously their beef level is high. Listen, once again, I don't know where or how this all ends. I know I've got my popcorn ready. I know that. I mean, if this is just the start, I've got my popcorn ready. It just seems pretty clear that this story of, hey man, it's got nothing to do with me, is not the entire story. No surprise though, whenever somebody claims to social media and says, hey man, I am innocent. I am absolutely innocent. There's got to be more to that story than that. Anyway, Gil does not seem that worried about it. Why should I be? He's not. I'm more worried about this all went down in my former hood. Had I known, I would have never left. Had I known, I'd still be up in the hill in Tarzana. Go to my wiki page. Does it still say that I was born in Tarzana? I wasn't. However, again, the guys that he was running with were listed as residents of Tarzana, live there. Resident of West Hills, live there. The mansion that they were running this scam out of was in Encino, lived adjacent to there, man, I'm telling you, 818 for life would have never left.